Okay, fellas, welcome to the show. Sound Good says you don't understand the point of InfoWars. InfoWars is like what crack is to addicts. Mm-hmm. Okay. Frank Rubin, on the rare occasion I cold approach, I'll say something like, I like your style, I want to get to know you. Never outright say they are beautiful or hot. So I asked them, how'd that work for you? They got me the number a couple times, but nothing much came of it. Would rather let them choose anyway. So we see it again that a lot of times when you cold approach, you get no pussy, which is the end result. If you're not getting pussy, why bother? It is a numbers game. Understand that. It is a numbers game. And also, I'm going to read something from the Facebook group. Either you're a player or you are a square. Either you get it and you apply it or you don't. Let's see, where is the message? Huh. Got some messages to me. Well, let me go inside the group. When I go to my profile, group messages pop up. Oftentimes, I will post a video meant for the Facebook group, and it shows up on my main profile. Which I guess is okay, because a lot of the guys came there, because I was a dating coach, but somehow a bunch of women got added, and I don't know. Tarimo, California's not that bad. We just had tons of rain shit go on. It's the video that you posted inside the group. Well, now they're showing floods. We haven't had any floods in a while either, but we've got enough water. Okay, here we go. Nope, that's on eating pussy. Where is that post at? Here it's it. All right, from John Bangura. Are you a player or are you a square? Words from a wise pimp. People use the term square all the time. If you ask them what it means, they would tell you a square is anyone who is not a player. A more modern definition is someone who holds a regular job. They don't have a design for their life. They live someone else's. They don't know the game, or they are misinformed about it, which a lot of males who come to my channel, they are misinformed, especially if they come from the PUA realm. They're totally misinformed. There is a deeper definition of the word square. Let me explain this to you so when you call a person a square, you know what you were really saying. A circle is round and measures 360 degrees in circumference. A square has 4 points, and each point measures 90 degrees. When you total up all 4 points of a square, we get 360 degrees. Both the circle and the square measure the same, but look entirely different. Players should always be playing. They revolve around like a circle. They do not stop. Problems don't stop them. Setbacks don't stop them. Mistakes don't stop them. And haters don't stop them. They keep it moving. They live life in motion. Squares are the opposite. As they are moving through life, when they face a problem, they stop and turn in a different direction, just like the corner of an actual square shape. When they face setbacks, mistakes, people judging them, etc., they stop and turn a corner. They go in a different direction. They never see anything through. They always change their minds. They may have a goal one week. The next week, they are focused on something different. What happened? They probably ran into a problem where someone or something bypassed their logic and reason and influenced their emotion. Now they have a different goal. A square never accomplishes anything because they have no purpose. I'm one of the 3% on the planet. I have a purpose. Is it about time you guys found your purpose in life? And to those of you who don't believe in that, fuck you. There's always some pseudo-intellectual dude. I don't believe in that. Take your pointy head onto to another channel. They're the ones who are thumbing down also. Those feminine guys, instead of saying something, instead of like a man, they thumb him down. A square never accomplishes anything because they have no purpose. They never find rest because they are led by the desires which change day to day. Even if a square has goals, they have weak character and no integrity, so they fold when things get rough. Things will always get rough at some point or another. Don't forget that life is a series of problems that must be solved. People of weak character either don't know or are too lazy to solve problems, so they don't. Squares always turn a corner and go in a different direction. The circle and the square both measure the same 360 degrees, but look different. A player circle is not better than a square because they are both human beings. They are similar but different at the same time. I disagree with that statement about them being equal. I'll say this again. You must learn to be a more direct, dominant force. Leave indirectness to the squares. Indirectness is like, I don't like what you say, I'm a thumb down. That's that passive-aggressive thing. When you have game, you have principles, rules, regulations, and standards you stand on at all costs. So there is no, I OJ sometimes. Either you stand on the principles or you're not in the game. You must always stand on it, in quotes, this person said to Ben-Gura, or whom he's quoting. Standing on the principles, rules, and regulations of the game is what gives you integrity and develops a strong character. Out of the game is what gives you integrity and strong character. Out of integrity and a strong character comes advancement, growth. Advancement and self-empowerment is a large part of what the game is about. Remember I told you the game is about manipulation, power, and control. That's it. This game has been used on you by European kings, queens, African kings, queens, kings and queens all over the world to have power over other people. So I ask you again, on the inside, are you meant to be a square or a player? Now, remember, life is part of the game as well. That's why you want to look at your personal goals. Egal O. Hi, Player Supreme. I want to ask you a question that some guys have been wanting to ask for years. Really? Some guys have been wanting to ask for years. How do you know those guys? How do you know there's some guys that we've been wanting to ask this for years? Have they talked to you? When it comes to figuring out if a woman is attracted to you, the first thing you gotta look for is eye contact. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that is the first and only thing you really need to concern yourself with. Okay? If you're cowardly, if you're a fucking ballless sack of shit type of man with no confidence. Now think about the confident male and the man that lacks confidence. The man that lacks confidence is going to have to stack evidence. The girl already gave him the eye contact. And it's up to that man to step over and see how deep the rabbit hole goes. See if there is any real interest. Especially once you open your mouth. Because once you open your mouth, you may kill it. Okay? But the coward will sit there and try to, well, she stuck her chest out a little bit. And she started playing with her hair. That's the coward's way. A man, when you see the eye contact, he's going to get up and go over. Okay? But let's see what you got to say. I haven't read this yet. First thing you got to do is look for eye contact. There are some who do give me good, positive eye contact, and I approach them. Okay, so you approach the ones that give you good, positive eye contact. But then there's females who just give me disgusted, resentful, contemptuous looks for no reason. And the funny thing is, I'm not even paying attention to them. Then how would you know if they're giving you those looks? You must be paying attention to them in some way or another, and then they're not attracted to you. So it's signaling you, I'm not attracted to you. Don't even think about approaching. Which means you are bleeding your intent all over the place. If a woman sees in advance that you're staring at her and you don't think you are, she's letting you know in advance. But let's continue to see what you're saying here. Paying attention to them. I just look to my side and I see this woman giving me a bitchy look for no reason. Like, for example, I'm just walking and I look to my side and then I see this girl giving me this ugly face. What's the point of that? Okay, now you're just walking, right? She's down there, you're right here, you're walking. I want you to think about, what did you do? Because you didn't not just look over here when she's walking by or up in the sky. So you obviously made some kind of look at her, and then you look away, try to walk by, but then you glance at her, and because obviously you were interested in her, that's why you looked. If she was fat and ugly and nasty with warts on her face, you wouldn't do that. You just walk on by, right? Right? So you walk by to see if she is giving you contact. So you're doing something that's killing your vibe. Okay? Somewhere in there, you're doing something that's killing your vibe with that chick, that's turning her off. I don't do that to girls I think are ugly, yeah. I don't pay any attention to people or things I don't like. It doesn't faze me, but it's kind of annoying and makes me curious as to what their motives are. Well, something that occurred to cause a response. Remember, you're getting a response from something. What are you doing before that response happens? Those are responses. Response is something that you're doing. Why do women do this? Because you're doing something. Has it ever happened to you? No. And how do you deal with women who have negative attitudes? I don't. Why should I? Why would I even want to even submit myself to a woman with a negative attitude? Case in point, I've talked about my mother, negative attitude. I see her for 5 minutes every other week. She's old and decrepit, can barely walk around. I see her for 5 minutes every other week. I don't deal with a woman with a negative attitude. Drove my dad to his grave. Okay? So that's how far I'm willing to go to make sure that my world stays positive. I don't know why you guys would put up with a woman with a negative attitude. I mean, goddamn. Life's already hard enough without bringing her on board. Now, I do tease Jovina about having an attitude similar to my mom's. She's actually very conservative and always worried about, make sure the bills get paid on time, if not early, pay your car off early, that type. So I tease her. Like, I want to go camping. Or I want to retire. Well, you got to make sure you have enough money. Otherwise, you ain't going to be able to live. Common sense stuff. But not really negative. Like I said, I can't say that too loud because that's one of the things I like to tease her about. So, she's not really negative. Frank Rubin, player, I need your take on this. Went on an OK Cupid date the other night. This was after a week of successful texting with her. With jokes, flirting, my seductive stories. I don't even want to know what that is. Oh, Frank. Supporting each other's fitness goals, etc. This was my first mistake. I should have let her hear my voice before we met up. At the end of the night, I knew it wasn't going well. I said, "You're disappointed, aren't you?" That's a different tact. You just said that to her, huh? Okay. Well, you're getting information. Okay, I get it. She said she was. I asked her why. She basically felt that I had anger in me and that I was not comforting. She said it was awkward. I'm not angry, but I have a very forceful, direct manner. You're one of those guys. You know what, Frank? Good luck with that. By the way, you created that in yourself. My voice has been called stern. See, you created that. I've been called a hard ass. By the way, that's not cool. Just so you know that. It's not cool. You're trying to be all pimp cold, ice cold. And no. Women respond to feelings that you invoke within them. Okay? That's how I do it. That's how Grease does it. He invokes feelings. He calls it putting feelings in her, but I call it evoking feelings. And being stern, you're not going to evoke nothing but shit. Okay? Just so you know for your game. Don't defend it. All right? Don't defend yourself. Take it as a lesson. She's white, and I guess she is used to your typical metropolitan white guy who is softer and more comforting than I am. If you can't fake it, like there was a guy I was working with. He was an IT dude. Are you IT also? That might be the problem here. There's something about the IT personality that you guys lack personalities. Like one chick, the personality of an ear. An ear. And that's what you're coming across like. Only a stern flapping ear. There was a guy I worked with that I sent him on assignment to find something nice about unattractive people to compliment them on. He couldn't even do that. That kind of personality just... I've never ran into that before until I got on the internet. I didn't know that kind of personality even existed out there. That you can't find one nice thing to say about like a fat chick. That's a nice blouse you're wearing today. Your hair looks nice today. You know, I never noticed. You got really nice eyes. You couldn't even find one thing. So let's get back to this, Frank. More comforting than I am. But she didn't even seem like the same person I'd been texting for a week. That person was bolder, more energetic, as people often are over texting. You know that. They meet you up in real life, and they're kind of a little bit more withdrawn. Let's see. More open. But in person, she seemed fragile, demure, reserved. Did you know that you can actually change that? Did you know that you could have had her laughing and giggling and relaxed? Did you know that within an hour you could have gotten her secrets out of her? Yeah. That's one of the things that you need to learn to develop is the ability to put women at ease and evoke feelings. Women respond to feelings. You put feelings in her. Okay? You stir them up. You can put the feelings of sex and horniness within her the same way. Not what I expected, and I couldn't adapt to the actual reality. You right. You must be I'm assuming you're black. So you're one of the black nerds. I couldn't adapt to the actual reality. I can be very comforting and soothing, but she didn't give me anything to work with in person, besides talking about her ex-husband and her friends. The questions that you ask will determine what she talks about. Okay? Did you use my animal colored water game to at least get a laugh out of her? Then segue into sex. You always take that water, remember the water? Remember the game, the water? That's her sexual side. Make a joke about it. She likes waterfalls because they're loud, noisy, and wet. Ah, so you're a screamer, huh? Is that true? See, make a little joke about it. Get her to blush and smile. That was hers. And yeah, she was. Had some jackass pounded on my roof. So I got out of bed, put some shorts on, and went up there. The black motherfucker sent his Asian girlfriend to the door. I told him, I hear you guys. Squeak, 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 for like 5 minutes, then it was done. Boom. I didn't know the dude was black till later on. Brothers don't fuck like that. Squeak, 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 squeak. 5 minutes, squeak, 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 boom. 5 minutes? Come on. Black men, we ain't lost it that much, have we? Not what I expected. I can be very comforting and soothing. Try this, Frank. Supreme. I can be very comforting and soothing. But she didn't give me anything to work with. Yes. Again, ask the right questions. I even asked if I came off different in text. That's not where you want to take her mind to. She said, not really. What was she expecting then? My question is whether I should soften myself. You need to learn to become a player and play the situation. Jovina! Back door. He's back.
Who's back?
Baby boy. He's watching you. Look at him watching you. You gotta love him. That cat can fart like... Oh, God. Them silent but deadly ones.
What are you talking about?
And he's got me right in the face a few times.
Oh.
Yeah, the silent but deadlies in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. The fuck, did you eat a dead rat? Okay. My question is whether, again, play each situation. You gotta learn to become a chameleon. Few women have ever known the real me. The me that I share with Jovina. Jovina! Jovina! Headphones off. Are you aware that few women have ever known the real me? You get to see the real me.
Privileged.
You get the real.
Somebody just kill me now.
Yeah.
Took me out of my face.
Like I was telling Grease, she's the first woman I dated that made a friend. That's your friend.
My plan.
Don't get your head in the clouds. Let's see. My question is whether I should solve myself, learn to be a player. I talked to a couple Latinas from POF. Now, they might like the harder version of you. Like sisters. And that's what I love about Latin women, man. Plus, they're passionate. Patooey! Mexicans are passionate. Jovina, Fat bastard. We got shithead, fat bastard. Fart machine, fat bastard. Okay. So we talked to some Latinas with FOKC the other day on the phone. Good. We had a great conversation. We're going to meet up this week. They did comment on my voice, and one asked if I was angry. There's a problem. You got to fix that. If more than one person is saying the same thing, you got to do the problem. Don't hide it. Don't some weird, creepy nerd pride about it. Fix it. Okay? You're going to have to fix the problem. But they still want to get together. Minority women are hard-ass type. There's a difference between hard-ass and non-emotional also. Like this one white chick, we're coming up. That means you're non-emotional. This isn't the first time I seem to have intimidated a prissy white girl. See, you're supposed to be able to seduce a prissy white girl. Okay? Then you know that you're all fixed up. I wonder what people at work think about you. The rougher types don't see the mind though. The rougher types like that way. But you gotta learn to be a chameleon as you're learning your game. Okay? As a promoter of game, it's about manipulation. I'm thinking something right now. Oh, don't leave it open. Yes, and shithead wants to go back outside. That's so lazy they don't want to go out the front door. Let me finish. This may sound simple, but I feel a little empty afterwards. Our texts were very personal at times, but that didn't amount to shit in person. Always keep in mind, I'm not a texter. I recently started that shit. My intuition to not get into repetition texting was correct. Going to keep them brief and but again, there you go. If that's what, but also you got a problem in your game. Hey, you need to learn to times to be hard and not control it. And then when they're like she must have been talking about some kind of problem with her family, and you got to learn to be a little more empathetic. You ain't got to be a simp. Remember, manipulation, power, and control. Mike Nolan. On the video, 3 things. I don't remember what I said in that video. It's so old. He got her hot and bothered. He created tension, and she wanted to get fucked, and he blew it. When you put them on a pedestal, you become attached, and you fuck it up. Thank you, Michael. Y'all said, I should read these in reverse. That does make sense. You have to have convo skills and not be attached to the outcome. It's being attached. How you come off. Okay. Now, Jovina. This screen name is called Player Gay Supreme Show Jovina.
What?
Some got a hater. I'm gonna block him.
What's he want?
Nah, he's want to talk some shit. I'm not even reading this shit. Just saw the fucking title. Let's see. Block user.
Don't talk some shit.
Hey, it's YouTube. Here, I'll read it for you.
Obviously, he doesn't have a life.
Don't waste video. Okay. I'm talking about haters. Yeah, I was talking about haters. What was the point of this video? Like I said, you hide the truth. You lied what people said and called them all racist, etc. You don't teach game. All you do is rambling about race and cry me a river, okay? Laugh my ass off. You will never have a debate, you liar. Click. I think that was DL.
Yo, Hughley?
No, remember...
I'm joking.
Okay. Yeah, you remember him. I had to ban him, and I just couldn't take it anymore. That passive-aggressive shit. In fact, I was talking to Grease about him, remember, he didn't know that he lived at home with his mommy at 31 years of age. Michael B. He says on the same video, I support this 100%. I hate negativity. That's why I don't really dabble in social media stuff like Snapchat. I've never been on Snapchat. A lot of negativity goes on there. It's a waste of time too. There are people that will run to that for that negativity. They're so negative in their lives they don't even see it, and then all they do is eat up more of it. Like they come on YouTube just to argue. There was a fellow that I go to some of the black channels and I make comments, and when I see someone being bigoted and prejudiced, because we all know that racism. We misuse that word racism, racist. It's a system. It's a system, and people aren't a system. They support a system, but they're not the system. So I make comments to those guys. Like, especially when they do that whole sub-Saharan nonsense shit. That's when it really gets me. I mean, what's a sub-Saharan shit? Africa was black, period. And they found ways. They were there before the fucking sub-Saharan was the Saharan. And they found ways through the desert. Ever heard of a fucking camel? I just said that this evening to some idiot. But I've learned that it's a waste of time to try to educate them, because all they'll do is come back with some shit that I read off a blog. I watched one guy's video point out how the stuff on some kind of study was faked. Internet, man. I don't see why they go to the trouble of faking shit. The truth is always going to come out. But anyway, that's my own personal issue. Let's see, goes, that's how I got my life on tracks. He said you could be doing something. It's waste time, you could be doing something. Lucky I wasn't around bad influence that much, and the friends I have from the bad element are kept in check. I don't listen to anything they say. I don't even hang around bad elements. I had friends that smoke weed. I keep them at a distance. I haven't seen Small Mr. Negative in about 2 years. He calls. I'll call him back, but I don't go out of my way. Especially, he's real negative also, so I totally get you there, Michael B., and good luck on that. Chris D said not one dislike. They feel the message. Actually, there was a dislike on that Don't Waste Your Energy video. Michael, to be honest, Supreme, I think we had it worse. Think about if the femme movement got stronger in the 80s and 90s. That's when I was a young adult, by the way. Well, I was a young adult in the 80s. Middle adult in the 90s. That's my 30s. From 2000 to 2010 was my 40s. And after 2010, I've entered, somewhere there, I've entered my 50s. That's how I see it. And there's comments between Chris D and Michael Nolan. Scott, you says the most common choosing signal I get besides eye contact is when a girl stands right next to me, or she will bump into me on purpose to get me to notice her. That means you're not you're not scanning the scene, because she would give you eye contact way before she had to bump into you. A bump is like a brick upside the head. Okay, you should get down right then and there, do your 50 push-ups for not seeing her eye contact. Okay, so that's it on the comments there, fellas. Very good one from Frank. And you got to hear what goes on within the Facebook group. Someone asked me about, licking pussy. As you guys know, I give that as a treat. I think I did it once on Jovina when we first met. But I'm not a dog. I'm not going down and servicing a woman like a dog. I'm from the old school days, where it was racial. White guys did it. They loved it. They rather lick pussy practically than fuck. And black dudes said they didn't do it. Let's see. I'm within the group right now. Checking everything out. Make sure everything's okay within there. No questions to me that are important because it's got, 3 days now? All right. That's our show for the day, Phyllis. Peace.